That's right. Welcome back, folks, to a 2023 Notre Dame quarterback update alert edition of the Always Irish Show. All right, as always, thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Notifications on. You'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Something like this. You don't want to miss a thing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want me, you can locate me. Call in line 312-900-8815. Give me a call. Make it a part of your routine. Fighting Irish Wire. Me, Mike Chen, Nick Shepkowski, Jeff. Everybody, go read it. Make it a part of your daily Notre Dame activities. So, where there's smoke, oftentimes in college football, there's fire. Then again, with the way recruiting is in social media and everything else, you don't know what to believe. You don't know what to believe. It's wild out there. Rumors of Notre Dame flipping a big-time quarterback have been hot the last day and a half, 2 days. And nobody knew specifically who it was at first. There seemed to be like a list of guys it could be. And there was speculation who it might be, this and that. Then today, this afternoon, not long ago, there's news that 4-star Pitt commit, who stands roughly 6'1.5", 6'2", close to 210. He has decommitted from Pitt and will, in fact, be at Notre Dame Stadium for Senior Day against backup college this weekend. Very, very interesting news for sure. And Minchie is the guy that a lot of people told me was the guy this was about when this all started. Just the people I ask, that was the thought, that it was him, or people knew but couldn't tell me for sure, whatever. Okay, so Kenny Minchie, here, Golden Tate's High School. I like that lineage. 2001, 215 out of 351, 3,280 yards, 32 touchdowns through the air, 3 more on the ground. Multiple crystal balls are now in, including Tom Loy's, who a lot of people take seriously, very seriously, more than some other outlets. They are crystal balling him to land to Notre Dame on the flippity flop, on the flip, okay? So I must mention this. He is not committed to Notre Dame. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I'm not trying to jinx Notre Dame. I'm not doing that. I'm reporting the news that there's smoke with the guy, and then he decommits, and then he's going to be at Notre Dame this week. Like, come on. It's not a stretch of me to put all this together and tie it together. I am saying it's not a done deal. So I want to make that known, all right? It just looks like where this is headed. All right, so Kenny Minchie, 4-star guy. Pitt commit, no longer. This is exciting. All right, so let's say this goes through as people are saying. I got 5 definite thoughts, 1 that's a half. So we'll say 6 thoughts. Let's start here. Number 1, great job by the staff staying on quarterbacks in 2023. There's been ebbs and flows to this recruiting class. Ebbs and flows just when it comes to quarterbacks in this recruiting class. All the Dante Moore smoke early, the gold throne, I lost my mind over it. He was his silent commit up until he wasn't, all of, like, whatever. Then you had the season start, and it was a frustrating start, easy to negatively recruit against Notre Dame. Great job by the staff. It's a main concern of the fan base, what you're doing with that quarterback spot 23. But major concern of the beginning of the Freeman era, how it's getting off and all that. Like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Filling out that need in the 23 class. And it's a big deal that it isn't just a body. that it's a guy with some potential here, right? Like a high-level quarterback, high-level college body specimen. You're going to get that. Great job by the staff. It's probably the number one concern fans have at the moment is the quarterback position. What's it going to look like? Questioning the depth and do we have what we need there? Development. Great job staying on this till the very end and pushing it and staying on, guys, making inroads. That's number one. Great job by the staff. Number two, this one's just funny to me. Pat Narduzzi has to be losing his mind. It's hilarious. Pat Narduzzi's one of the biggest crybabies in college football. His best receiver left for the money in LA, went to USC, and he had a meltdown. He ain't going to like this. He ain't going to like this. So it entertains me to no end to see Pat Narduzzi lose his mind. This will be the next thing for that. And I'm here for it. The guy's hilarious. He's a grown man crybaby. And I can't wait to see what he's going to come up with this time. Number three, people on Twitter are asking, what does this do for CJ Carr and his commitment? Nothing. Here's my thinking on this. One is they're not even in the same class. So it's not like they're coming in the same year. That's number one. But here's number two. If CJ Carr really is this five-star guy that he's supposed to be, if he's scared of committing to Notre Dame in a different class than this guy that he's rated higher than, I'm not interested in CJ Carr then. Like, really, they're not even in similar classes. Carr's, by the ratings, a higher level prospect, and there's a year of staggered difference in the classes. If that's going to affect what Carr does, I don't want him then. He's weak mentally. If this guy coming in that he's rated higher than, not even in the same class, deters him from coming to Notre Dame. I don't want the guy anyways. So I don't think this has anything to do with Carr or change his mind or anything like that. I don't think that's in play at all. And if it is, it's a big red flag. Number four, for Tommy Rees, Minchie Carr is really, really good recruiting work back to back. If that's how it turns out, and you have those two guys, 23, 24, lined up, great job on the recruiting end of this. Great job. Like, that's a quarterback room you could work with and let it figure itself out for the next few years of the Freeman era. If you have the Minchie 23, Carr 24. Now I got some elite talent upside that I could work with. Okay? But, really good job, Tommy, on this recruiting effort with both of these guys. Development and retention are also important and are two areas where we've not been doing a good job. So you have to credit Tommy Rees on this recruiting effort. But to me, that's only 1/3 of the equation in that quarterback room. Recruiting, but also development and retention. All right? So you got to develop these guys. And by retention, I mean, retain the ones you need to retain. They're going to grow for you and be elite, and then let the other ones go. And you got to know where that's going to fall and where to draw those lines. So good job, Tommy, obviously. Good job. Minchie Carr is solid. You can work with that room. You can work with that room and that high-level elite potential both these guys present. And the physical gifts that they both have, just God-given. But I also need Rees, that development and retention part, you got to get that squared away too. So this is a really good job in one of the three. Let's see these other two come around as well. And number five, here is one potential negative to keep an eye on. Minchie did have a shoulder injury earlier in the year, and he lost some time over it, and I think it was one of those dislocations. Did come back and play later in the year, But I have been told by some Notre Dame people just to keep an eye on that one little issue. You can ask how little it is if it's your shoulder on a quarterback. But I have just been told that's one thing to just keep an eye on, is that dynamic with that injury and how it's healed and the arm strength. Okay, so there's 5 immediate reactions. Great job by the staff. Narduzzi popping his stack, blowing his top off. His head's going to explode. I'm here for it. Number 3, CJ Carr, no impact. If it does and he's scared of this, I don't want him anyways. He ain't the kind of guy that I want. And for Reese, really good job on recruiting. Now nailed the development and retention if we assume he's going to be the guy around next year. Okay? And then number 5, keep in mind that shoulder injury. Make sure that's all on the up and up and he's fully healthy. All right? One question I do have here is, what do you guys think this does for the transfer market regarding Notre Dame? If you get a 23 guy, do you also feel that Notre Dame should still get a transfer? Because think about it. Think about the dynamic next year. Say Buckner heals up, he's healthy. You know what you have in Pine, and I think I'm speaking for most of us when I say it ain't the ultimate of what Notre Dame needs at the quarterback. Too limited in a lot of areas. So you're going to have Buckner off injury, not knowing how good he really is, competing with Pine, competing with Angeli, who we don't know how good he is, and then competing with Minchie coming in as a freshman. You don't know how good he is. Do you still need a transfer guy in here? Because on the best case next year for Notre Dame, you still have a guy you don't know is any good, whoever it is. If Minchie played great, won the job, if it's Buckner off the injury, you don't know how good any of those guys are. You still end up in a scenario where Notre Dame goes into a year crossing its fingers, not knowing what it's going to get out of the quarterback position. I'm sick of Notre Dame being in that boat. I am sick of Notre Dame being in that boat of starting the year, not knowing what you have with the quarterback, what kind of production is realistic to expect, what the high end is, all of that. You guys, it's normal to go into a year knowing you have a dude and he's your dude and you know he's good and you build around him and his skill set and you know he can make all the throws and you know he's getting smarter. It is normal, contrary to what our lives are. Look around the country. It's normal to start a year knowing you have a good quarterback. It's just not normal for us. So that's one question I do have with this dynamic. What does this do for that transfer situation regarding Notre Dame? If this all goes great, Minchie to Notre Dame, Carr to Notre Dame, Buckner gets healthy. If it all goes perfect, you still have no idea what you're going to get out of the quarterback position going into next year at all. Unless it's Pine, and then I know that it isn't good enough. So there's still a lot to figure out. But stacking the room with talent is a good way to go. It's a good way to go as you figure it out. So this would be a great save job by Notre Dame. No, it's not Dante Moore, but with Carr behind him, this is really, really solid. It's a really good job by Freeman, Reese, and company, everybody involved. The one thing you guys got to keep in mind, I think we've lost some of this because we're in this season and it's been a wild one and all these swings up and down. I don't want us to lose sight of this fact. This staff is relentless. This staff is absolutely relentless on the recruiting trail. And I know it's been hot and cold and cooled off late in the summer, rough start to the year, kind of cooled off. I get all that now. It feels like you're trending back up. It's wild how those swings are week to week with college football overall and recruiting as well. But my point with this overall is this staff is relentless. This staff recruits at Notre Dame in a way Brian Kelly could never even dream of in a million years. Oh, John, look what he's doing at LSU. He's got him. Didn't do it here. Doesn't matter. Didn't do it here, doesn't matter. I don't know how many times I have to tell people that. Didn't beat Alabama here, did he? Didn't change how he recruited to get better talent here, did he? No, he did not. So I don't care what he's doing in the swamp. For our situation, this staff recruits in a way Kelly could never dream of. It's going to pay big dividends. 247, you're sitting at number 3 right now in the 23 class, despite suffering some defections and commitments of guys other places we thought we were going to get. You're hanging in there nationally, and the staff isn't done yet. They are relentless in recruiting. It will pay off. If this goes the way people are saying, good job by everybody involved. This staff has a bunch of dogs on the recruiting trail, and it's the only way to get Notre Dame where they need to be. Good job by everybody if this comes through. Tommy, development, that's your next thing, man. Development. Get these guys so they get better every year. Better, better, better. Let's go.